Hello, and welcome to the Torah Outreach Program, Erev Shabbos, Burst of Inspiration. Today's Burst of Inspiration is sponsored by Mr. Mikey Katz. It's a schus for Refuah Shalema from Meir Chaim ben Sarah and for Chana Tzipora Bas Sarah. May the Torah that is learned and gained from this video be a schus for their Refuah Shalema. We're coming on to Lag BaOmer. This coming Thursday night is going to be Lag BaOmer, remembering the death of one of Rabbi Akiva's students. After he had lost 24,000 students, he established 5 new students and taught them everything. But instead of talking about that, let's talk about Rabbi Akiva. This time of year, we're mourning over the fact that 24,000 of what should have been the leaders of the Jewish people passed away. The crowning glory of Rabbi Akiva's hard work, unfailing work, dedication, a man who started with absolutely nothing, couldn't read, married, and his wife sacrificed everything to marry him because she was disowned by her father, because how could you marry somebody who's completely unknowledgeable of any Torah at all? She threw him out, or he threw them out. They lived hand to mouth, just enough to get by. And whatever money they had, they used to pay a tutor to teach Rabbi Akiva. Aleph Beis. He clawed his way up. Eventually she told him, I want you to go to Yavne, where the Chachamim were located at the time, and stay there. Her sacrifice was incredible. Who could say that to a husband when they're just getting by? They had children, and they're just getting by, barely, and yet you need to leave so you can learn Torah. Don't come back for 12 years. At the end of the 12 years he came back. He heard her say, I want him to stay another 12 years. He went back again. After 24 years, he was no longer a Talmud, a student. He wasn't even a regular teacher. He was the head of the academy. And not only that, he was the leader of the Jewish people. And he came back victoriously with all 24,000 students. And on top of that, his father-in-law regretted disowning them, and now they were financially set. He was the leader of his people. He had 24,000, not students, 24,000 teachers who were trained to give over the Torah after he and his colleagues passed away from this world. And then in a short 33-day period, there's this horrible epidemic that goes through the country. And when they finally took a head count, 24,000 people died. And they were only the students of Rabbi Akiva. Everybody focuses on why they died and why this time of year. I want to focus on something else. When any of us was Rabbi Akiva, who gave up everything and struggled so hard to be who he was, to become how great he became, to the point of absolute sacrifice, his sacrifice, his wife's sacrifice, they attained their dream. She wanted a husband who was a Talmud Chacham. She wanted a Talmud scholar. She got beyond her greatest dream. And he fought for it. And he learned for it. And he progressed. And he bettered himself. And then, in a small time, 33 days, everything was lost. What would most of us do? give up. But we can't. I heard once b'shem from Nachman Breslev, Ein shom yiyush ba'olam. There is no such thing as giving up. The words, I give up, I quit, I can't do this anymore, I can't handle it, I'm throwing in the towel. That's an anti-Jewish statement. That's not the way a Jew is. Look at history. Look what we've been through. Individually, as a community, as a people, as a nation, as a land, we've been through our ups, we've been through our downs. But we always remember with the ups and the downs, Rabbanu Shalom's there. And therefore, giving up doesn't exist. There is no such thing as despair. I said this over to a group of seniors, many groups of seniors this week. And one lady said, doesn't it always happen when there's nothing left to do, like it's all over, like everything falls apart and there's nothing left you can do, and all of a sudden something happens that can get you out of this? Something opens up at that last moment. Spoken by an elderly woman. Age teaches us a lot. It's experience. If there's one lesson of the many that we learn from the mourning period that we have this time of year, yes, the lessons about how we have to give mutual respect, and the lessons of why it had to happen now, because this is what God wants us to work on when we're getting ready to be His guardians for His Torah, is how we show respect to one another. But what about the idea that a Jew never, ever gives up? Good jobs.